Kiyotaka Ayanokoji joins Class 1D at Tokyo Metropolitan Advanced Nurturing High School, where students receive a monthly allowance of 100,000 points. Points are equivalent to yen, and merit is crucial. Kiyotaka navigates wisely, befriends Kikayo Kushida, and attempts to reconcile with Suzune Horikita. In an effort to help, Kiyotaka arranges a meeting for Kushida and Horikita but fails. In April, Class D spends recklessly, raising Kiyotaka's suspicions. On May 1st, Chabashida reveals the allowance depends on merit. Class D, having ignored studies, receives no points. Chabashida explains the school's ranking system and warns of expulsion. Realizing the stakes, everyone, except the three troublemakers, takes studies seriously. Horikita seeks Kiyotaka's help in bringing the trio into her study group. Horikita and Kushida convince them to come. Pseudo expresses disinterest in studies, aiming for pro basketball, but they leave due to Horikita's behavior. Kiyotaka overhears Horikita's disagreement with her brother, the student council president Manabu, who criticizes her view on isolation as independence. Kiyotaka intervenes, and Manabu reveals he scored 50 on every test, questioning if it's a coincidence. Midterm exams show Class D excelling, with some ranking highest among first years. Results arrive, and everyone passes except Pseudo, who missed by 1 point. Kiyotaka spent 15,000 points on old exam questions 3 days before exams, explaining it's not against rules. He and Hirotaka use points to increase Pseudo's score by 1, rescinding his expulsion. Kushida arranges a party in Kiyotaka's room that night. After the party, Kushida forgets her phone, and Kiyotaka returns it, discovering her jealous and nasty side. On July 1st, Class D's point distribution is on hold due to Pseudo's self-defense incident with Class C basketball teammates. To clear Pseudo's name and avoid losing points, Class D seeks a witness before the hearing. Class C attackers ask Ruin to fake a beating. Class D, with Class B's help, seeks witnesses online. Hirokira informs them that Sekira witnessed the incident with her camera. Kiyotaka and Kushida discuss public perception in a murder case. The next day, Sekira is approached for evidence, but runs away, dropping her camera. Kiyotaka and Kushida accompany her to get it repaired. Kiyotaka provides his contact information. Kiyotaka discovers Sekira is the popular internet model. In the hearing led by Manabu Horikita, both classes accuse each other of starting the fight. Class C initially wins, but Suzune Horikita speaks up after Kiyotaka tickles her. She presents Sekira as a witness, but the evidence only shows her presence. Class C's teacher suggests a compromise, but Class D rejects it. Manabu realizes someone is lying and postpones the decision. Sekira finds her mailbox filled with photos. Kiyotaka and Hirotaka set a trap using Sekira's photo delay. They trick Class C students into thinking they'll be expelled for a false complaint. Class C students agree to drop the complaint. Sekira is attacked by a store clerk who admires her online persona, Shizuku. Kiyotaka and Ikanos rescue her using phone tracking and security cameras to apprehend the clerk. Suzuki, Horikita, and Shibashira discuss Kiyotaka, with Shibashira noting Class D is for school misfits, praising Kiyotaka's effectiveness. Manabu asks Kiyotaka to join the student council, but he declines, giving credit to Suzune. Kiyotaka tells Suzune he'll help her reach Class A but won't reveal his personal life. Hirokita studies during vacation. Kiyotaka persuades her to go to the pool. Beforehand, Class D plans to peek at girls in the changing room. Satomura coordinates the operation, and Yamachi struggles to install cameras, requiring Ike's intervention. Ruin, Class C, and Ike in changing room. Pseudo confronts Ruin, stalls for time. Class A students arrive for a fight. Manabu warns about judgment on school grounds. Satomura alerts Kiyotaka. Kiyotaka asks Horikita for speech on Class D ascending to Class I. Ike escapes unnoticed. Suzune removes SD cards from cameras. Kiyotaka used Suzune to prevent classmates' betrayal. First-year students on luxurious cruise for class trip. Chabashida informs Kiyotaka of expulsion request. Chabashida helps him reach Class A, warning expulsion if he refuses. Kiyotaka suspects a hidden motive behind a school-owned island trip. Ruin manipulates Horikita about security cameras. Ibuki confronts Ruin but is rebuffed by Albert. Class C faces internal collapse. Sokka plots in the background, calling Kiyotaka for a date but canceling abruptly. Kushida sees them, and Sokka leaves embarrassed. Kiyotaka is stopped by Kushida's darker personality. She senses his weirdness, confirms it, then shifts to her cheerful self, admitting she feels lonely alone. The school reveals the real reason for the trip, a week-long survival test on a deserted island. Yasukarada explains the rules: 300 points for food and conveniences, with leftovers exchanged for class points. Points are lost for injuries, pollution, missed roll calls, and violence. Class D aims to save points, despite a toilet debate. Kiyotaka, Sekura, and Rakasuke Kionji look for a camping spot. Chabashira's advice on spot possession and the class leader's role in it is on Kiyotaka's mind. Possession earns a special test point redeemable for class points after 8 hours. By risking 50 test points, Class D guesses the leader from another class. Kiyotaka spots Kuei Katsuragi holding the leader card while talking to Yahiko Tatsuka. Class D sets up camp by the river, choosing Hirokita as leader. While gathering firewood, Kiyotaka, Yamuchi, and Sakura find Mio Ibuki from Class C injured. Kushida gives her fruit. The class plans to spend 180 points on 2 meals a day, a toilet, and a tent, with 30 for unforeseen situations. Kunji withdraws, costing Class D 30 points. Kiyotaka and Hirokita reconnoiter other camps. Class B's camp is near a waterfall, similar to Class D's but at a better location. Class A's camp is heavily guarded in a cave. Class C's camp, led by Ryuen, has already spent all points, treating the test like a vacation. Ryuen punishes Ibuki for disobedience without penalty. On the night of the 3rd day, somebody breaks into the girls' tent at the Class D camp and searches Ibuki's bag for her phone. On the 4th day, Class D does more reconnaissance to find out who the class leaders are. Kiyotaka and Sakata meet Ikanos at Class C's camp, only to find out that everybody except Ibuki has withdrawn from the test. On the 5th day, Keikaru Izawa finds out that her underwear was stolen. Class D conducts a bag search, and Yamachi finds it in Ike's bag. Kiyotaka takes it, but the girls demand a pat-down. When the pat-down search is conducted, Hideta searches for Kiyotaka but reports that he couldn't find it. Later, he talks with Kiyotaka and decides to take the underwear, knowing that his reputation would be damaged the least for being the culprit, because Karuizawa is his girlfriend. In response to the underwear theft incident, trust within Class D erodes, and the girls of Class D decide to separate the boys and girls camps. Ibuki approaches Kiyotaka, asking for his opinion about who the thief is, and he trusts her while telling her that Sudo suspects her. That night, Hirokita and Kiyotaka sit by a campfire, and Kiyotaka notices that Horikita has been sick during the entire test. Horikita has been resting in her room during the cruise in order to recover from her illness, and was determined to tough it out. On the next day, Class D gathers food in advance of a rainstorm. While fishing in the river, Kiyotaka asks Horikita to show him her leader card in order to confirm whether the card Katsuragi was holding was real. However, he is still unsure after seeing it. Yamachi approaches Horikita and puts mud on her hair, prompting Horikita to throw him to the ground. While Horikita goes off to wash the mud in her hair, somebody steals her leader card, and she secretly lets Kiyotaka know about it. Shortly afterwards, somebody starts a fire at camp, burning the survival test manual, leading to even more trust issues within Class D, suspecting that this was Ibuki's doing because she is from another class. Horikita searches for her and finds out that she stole the card. Ibuki attacks Horikita despite the rules prohibiting violence against students from other classes, knowing that as long as nobody witnesses the fight, she can get away with it. Weakened by her illness, Horikita is easily beaten by Ibuki and brings the key card to mysterious student who had apparently asked for it. Ibuki notifies Katsuragi through a ham radio that she has secured Horikita's leader card, as Class A and Class C are revealed to be working together. With Horikita's illness getting worse, Kiyotaka has her withdraw from the test. On the final day, the students clean up their campground, and the classes guess the leaders, with Class B opting not to make any guesses. At the assembly, Ryuen reveals that he secretly forged a pact with Katsuragi to transfer 200 test points to Class A in exchange for either a leader card or a photo of it. Class C quickly spent the remaining 100 points, and everybody except Ryuen, Ibuki, and Kanda, the last of whom was assigned to spy on Class B, withdraw from the test. Class C would then guess the leaders: Tatsuka for Class A, Chihiro Shiranami for Class B, and Horikita for Class D. The results are revealed, and the winner is Class D with 225 points, followed by Class B with 140 points, Class A with 120, and Class C with 0 points. The students return to the cruise ship, where Arisu Sakayanagi reveals that things went according to plan in making everybody mistrust Katsuragi to weaken her leverage over the class, as her ally Hashimoto secretly outs Class A's leader to Ryuen. Horikita explains to Kitaka that he intentionally led Ibuki to steal the card, and then had Horikita withdraw so that he could make himself the leader, ensuring that Class A and Class C incorrectly guessed her as the leader. As for guessing the other leaders, he reveals that he only saw the backside of Katsuraga's card, and knowing how cautious he was, he deduced that Totsuka was Class A's leader. He was also aware that Ryuen had not withdrawn, leading him to guess that he was Class C's leader, as he saw him with the same radio Ibuki was holding. Not wanting to jeopardize Class D's alliance with Class B, Kitaka opted not to name Class B's leader. Ryuen reveals that the main motivation for the alliance with Class A was that he would sign a contract to receive 20,000 points from each student of Class A every month until graduation. In a meeting with Chabashida, Kitaka finds out from her that the man who wanted him expelled was actually his father. Kitaka tells Chabashida that despite his father's attempts to remove him from school, he will continue to defy him. Having told Kitaka that she needs allies, Kitaka makes it appear that she was the one responsible for Class D's victory in order to have others put their trust in her. However, Kitaka truly doesn't want anything to do with Kitaka or anyone in his class, as he only sees them, and humans in general, as tools, and will continue to use and sacrifice others as long as he wins in the end.